is visible and my voice is audible.
Yes.
Okay. So, with that, we would be kickstarting our session, and this session would be majorly about the Copilot Studio, wherein we would be seeing about the integrations of how all the Copilot Studio would be helping us in building the intelligent agents or the agentic AI inside the low code no code platform is something that we would be seeing from basics to advanced. So before we get started with session, let me give a brief introduction of myself. I am CR Bhargavi, and I'm a data scientist lead and a power platform expert. And I'm a global speaker, a mentor, blogger, and author as well, where I do write articles under various community and platforms. And I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and a Microsoft most valuable professional as well. And I'm passionate about AI, ML, data science, data engineering, and low code, no code AI automation. So this is my LinkedIn code. You can get in touch with me post the session if you have any doubts or any clarifications you have post the session. With that, the agenda for today is the Copilot Studio overview is something that we would be seeing, and then we would also be seeing about the prompt engineering basics, wherein we would be covering about how does the prompt engineering work? Like, how does it play a major role for the Copilot Studio to have a basic understanding about, and then how can you integrate the AI builder inside the Copilot Studio, and then uh, orchestrating of the logic without the code is something that we would also be seeing. And then we have various ways that we can create agentic AI, right? And one such way is Copilot Studio, and another such way is AI Foundry. So we would be having a comparison of both those things, and then we would be taking up the questions at the last. So, before we get started with Copilot Studio, or we are we want to get started with some agentic AI resource that what we have, let us get started with agents. What it is, and then let's proceed on with the next part. So, what are AI agents? AI agents are like uh, they are they would help you up to get the things smarter. Like it would be helping you up in getting the things like whether you can have the combination of the contextual data with AI algorithm, or you can have multiple automation which can be automated based on the user's input, and they can proceed based on the format. Like if you type in a prompt and that would be generating the whole flow for you, or it can do the things which you are doing manually, that it would be helping you out and sorting out the things which you do manually to automated one. So those are called as the AI agents, which would be kind of like acting smart, as well as which would be helping you up in consuming the generative AI models, and then their capabilities to have the process which can be done via uh, adding the data to them. So those are called as the AI agents. And when you want to go ahead and proceed on with that, why do we need no code to auto code is something that we want to assume. Like we all know that vibe coding is something that which has been popular right now. Like you can help it. You can help yourself write codes, and that can be helping you up in kind of like Even you don't have to code at all, or you it can code by itself is something that which is which is coming out in low code no code platform. So that's why the low code no code plays a major role, wherein it would be helping you up in processing the end to end, like booking a flight ticket, or you want to book some hotel for yourself from end to end. So that's where the auto code plays a major role on, and it would be helping you up in every single step of what you can do with, and that repetitive task will be done by itself, wherein you don't have to code much, but you can go ahead and do the customization of yourself on whatever you wanted to achieve on. So that's where the auto code plays a major role on. Like it would be having the AI copilots, which are already been available inside the Power Platform, being combined with some logic that what you wanted to do, and that becomes the smarter automation that what you wanted to proceed on. So that's where the low code, no code automation plays a major role. Now, one such low code, no code platform which has been available and that's helping you out and sorting out whether you can build your own copilot for yourself, or whether you can go ahead and consume the models which are being available, or that can be helping you out and sorting out things like you can do your own customization and build an agent for yourself or agentic AI for yourself, then that's possible. And with the help of low code, no code, like you don't have to code much over there. And that's bigger part called as the Copilot Studio, wherein it would be helping you out in customizing or building your own copilot within the context of Microsoft 365, and that would be helping you out in tailoring whatever you wanted to achieve on, like the customization that what you wanted to achieve on based on the requirement that what you have. And then you can create a custom copilot and GPT models, or you can go ahead and consume over there, or you can connect it to different kind of the data sources, like you can either upload it, or you can either connect it to a power platform, like uh, the power apps, power automate, or power bi, and then you can also have connection being established to different kind of the data sources which are being available, like uh, you would be having the various kind of models which are there, like uh, you would be you would be having the uh, customization of connecting it to SharePoint, or you can go ahead and connect it the uh, via some of the tools which are being available outside. Let so we would be proceeding on and seeing all those parts in demo, and you would get an understanding of all those things, like your data set and other things will also be prepared, and that can be prepared, and that can be kind of like automated too with the help of Copilot Studio. So in Copilot Studio, when you give a prompt, you would be able to build a agentic AI by yourself, wherein it can interact with your customer, and and from there it would be able to have a proceeding fr- proceeding from there. For that, you would have to you would have to have an understanding of prompt engineering from end to end, right? So that's where the prompt engineering plays a major role on. So how does the prompt plays a major role over here? So the more precise on your prompt will be the result of your output that what you are trying to achieve. So it is kind of like playing around with the prompt that what you have, and it would be kind of like having a concept that would be helping you to discover the prompt from various kind of like result that what you wanted to achieve with the help of NLP, and you would be having the you would be instructing the model to do on something, and that would be giving you the result based on the format that what you expect, and that result can be in any format like text to text or text to image or text to audio or text to video as well, and as like what we are currently using the ChatGPT or Copilot or GitHub Copilot, right? So that's the basic part that what we are trying to consume as well. So those plays a major role, and from there it is being customized for building a agentic AI for yourself, and you can go ahead and consume, or you can go ahead and use those things for yourself. So now comes the architecture of Copilot Studio. So the Copilot Studio is being kind of like, as I mentioned earlier, you would be giving the prompt, and that prompt would be helping you to build the whole solution that what you wanted to achieve. Um, so when you give the prompt here, it would be taking up the Copilot and plugins which are being available. And what happens over there is like it would be giving you up in uh, providing the automations that what you wanted to achieve, and then it would be kind of like giving you the solutions which are being needed, like either in the form of plugin, or you can go ahead and use the same with the help of APIs, or you can go ahead and consume the same by connecting it to the Dynamic 365 or Power Automate or Salesforce, however you wanted to connect it to, you can go ahead and connect the same to the Copilot Studio. Like you will be having the creator layer, which should be kind of like helping you in creating the UI that what you are trying to create. Like say in case you are trying to book the ticket for somewhere to somewhere, and what you would be trying to do is like you would be writing in the prompt here. So when you write the prompt, that would be checking whether there are some kind of like connectors which are being available. And if that connector has been available, then that would be checking on with some plugins that are already been present. Say in case like when the scenario that what we wanted to book a flight ticket, then that would be checking up in the format of like having the copilot and plugins inside that layer, wherein if at all the topic plugins and the prompt plugins are being available. So the prompt plugins are something like what you wanted to achieve, and the topic plugins are something like what you are currently talking, like how you conversate with the Copilot Studio is something that you would be seeing over here. And once you had uh, got an idea, you would be instructing the agent to do the same, and that would be doing the same for yourself. So it would be kind of like communicating from creator layer to the copilot and plugins, and from there it would be having the APIs and other things which are being needed, like it's been mentioned here, right? So it would be checking for all the layers which are being needed, and then from there it would be connecting it to the plugins that what we saw earlier. So once we are done with the part, we would be having the whole kind of like solution being developed for ourselves. I'm not stopping or I'm not going to delay much about here inside the theory part, and all I had planned for the demo part wherein we would be seeing, or if you don't understand anything which we had discussed previously, we would be connecting it via the demo part. So, to access the Copilot Studio, it would be like you should be accessing it via the you should be accessing just a minute. Okay. So, my copilotstudio.microsoft.com should be able to give you the access form that what you wanted to do on. Like uh, when you have the details which are being needed, like you can go ahead and consume the same with the help of the trial that what you are trying to achieve. Even I am now using the trial version of the Copilot Studio, and from there I am trying to build the agents which are being needed. So what we would be doing is like copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Once we had logged in, we would be first creating the environment for ourselves. Environment is nothing but consider it to be the team inside our office. So you would be having different kind of team who would be doing different sets of work, right? So that's where the environment would also be working on. So you would be uh, creating a environment and you would be doing the things over there. Once you had did everything, consider it to be something like I am using the same description which has been already available. Like provide employees with help on troubleshooting issues with their company issued devices, something that which we wanted to achieve on by providing it with the agents. Like when you have issues inside your company provided laptop and you are trying to achieve the same, then you would be giving it here like you can go ahead and uh, describe what all things that what you wanted to achieve on, and from there you would be having the various kind of the details or description on what it has to do. Now let's click on this part, like proceed. As part of the proceeding one, what it would be doing is like it would be creating the agent for ourselves. Let's give it a minute so that it can get started with what it wanted to achieve on. So you are building in your agent, and this is the test way that what you can try to do on. Like when you provide the details in this format, then it would be providing you the description on how does it want to achieve on. When you click on configure, then it provides an instruction and other things on how all it has to work on. Like device won't turn on is something that you had already defined, and it would be having some kind of like pre-loaded messages which are being available, and that would be given over here. Now you are clicking on with the create. Now that the agentic AI is getting created towards your backend. Let it get created. So this is where the description is being available, and this is where you have the agent's model which has been available, and you have the instruction of the agent on what it has to do will be provided over here. Can you see here? Like this is the instruction and this is the description. Description is like why you have created a agent for yourself. Instruction is like why that particular or what that particular agent has to do. And knowledge is something but your uh, knowledge base that what you wanted to achieve on. Like how does it want to act on? And there are different ways where you can go ahead and upload your file, or you wanted to have a public website being added, or your SharePoint has to be uh, connected, or your Azure AI search has to be added. There are different ways where your knowledge can be added on. And then tools are something like when you wanted to connect it to the different services which are being available, like you would be having the tools like you can have the agentic flow which has been defined, which would then get connected to the Power Automate, and from there you can go ahead and connect it. So when you click on with all those things, you would be having in the connection which has been available, and you can go ahead and connect it. Like as I mentioned earlier, if you are using a premium version, you would be seeing more than around hundreds of connectors which would be available. Even if it's a free version, you would be having more than 100. And if it's a kind of like uh, cu- uh, custom version which has been available, like a premium version, then you would be having more than around somewhere 877 or more than of it are being available till now, and you can go ahead and consume the same. So this is about the Copilot Studio. Now, now that you have the add a knowledge base is something that which we saw, right? Now you have tools which are being available. Tools are something that which would be having you to create the connectors which are available. Like you would be having in the tools that what we just now saw. And agents are something like when you want to build a multi-agent being developed for your requirement, then you would be clicking on with the agent. And here, when you click on with plus icon and when you click on with create an agent, then that would be helping you up in creating the agent inside a agent, and from there you can go ahead and consume the same. Like when you have the different kind of the details that are being available and you wanted to do the same the uh, inside the single agent, you would be splitting that particular task of what all the second agent has to do, and this first agent would be helping you to call the second agent, and that second agent would be proceeding to do the second set of tasks that what it wanted to achieve. Kind of like a nested loop that what you have in the coding, right? So you would be having the similar kind of the thing here, wherein one agent would would be having n number of agents, and all those agents will be having description and then instruction, everything that what you can have for it. Like the knowledge can be added differently for the same. And the second uh, agent that what you are creating can have a different set of the knowledge that what you have. So there are different ways that what you can try to achieve on the same. Now I'm getting back. Let's see what are the topics which are being available and what are the different things which are being available here so that we can get an understanding of how we can go ahead and test it and other things. Now, topic. Topic is something like, say, in case you have high, and that high would be helping you out in responding or checking what all different types that what it can have, right? So that would be responding you up in high as a response to it. So how does it happen? All happens because you have the uh, topics being defined for yourself, and from there it would be giving you up the result based on the same. And then um, if you wanted to create a topic for yourself, then you can go ahead and click on this particular bar. And when you sorry when you click on this part, then what happens is like you would be having the various option wherein you can go ahead and send a message or ask a question, or you can go ahead and answer it with the condition, or you can also have the variable management being added for yourself. So there are different ways where you can go ahead and achieve on the same. And if at all you don't want something to be created for yourself, then you can go ahead and use the ones that are being available by the system, and from there you can go ahead and use that. Now that we got to know about what is topic, now let's see what is activity which has been available. Something like when you had published, and that published agent to see on what all activity does it happen over there, then you would be seeing under the activity here. And if at all you wanted to have some Power BI being connected for yourself, then you would be having the publish option being connected for yourself. And channels are something like where you can go ahead and uh, publish your bot. Either you can also connect it to your WhatsApp, but for the free version, it won't be available, or it is recommended that you should not be using your personal works or personal details which are being needed to develop a bot for yourself and publish it for your profit is something that which is being advised. And if at all you are using something based out of that, then your trial version would be kind of like uh, prohibited from there. So please be mindful of that particular thing, and rest all is something that you can go ahead and connect it. So this is something that what we had tried to achieve on. The one which are been available here and the one which are been available here are almost the same. Like how does it have a solution being developed for yourself, and how it has been built is something that which has been which we had seen. Now, we know that it has to assist based on the company's uh, questions or something that what we had given a query to it. Let me type a question to it saying that my GitHub access does not have commit which has been. added to the account. So now that you are chatting to a agent which is already been created, and you can test your agent on how does it work then and there. So this is a common scenario where every developer would be facing it, right? Like your GitHub access will be granted with some kind of like access, but you would not be able to create a branch, or you would not be able to create something out of it so that you can go ahead and commit the same. What you would be doing, you would be giving in the enter over there, and it would be kind of like checking all the topics which are being available, and if at all it has some kind of like recommendation which is already been there, then that would be giving you up the solution which has been available. To troubleshoot a missing commit in your GitHub account, please follow the below steps. Is something that which is already been uh, already been recorded inside the knowledge base, and that knowledge base would be giving you up the solutions which are being needed for yourself. So, what happens here is like it tries to get the data which has already been there, and it would be trying to give the result back on the same. So, how does it work? Like it would be checking all the ways where you had trained the agent, and it would be checking on with the topics which you have already created, and then it would be um, like, can you see here on how does it work? Like it had checked the various ways of how it had created, or it had checked on the way that what it had tried to do. Now let me close this so that you would get an understanding of this particular part. Like we had tried to give the solution or our response over here. And that's the first step. Started searching within the knowledge, and that knowledge particular part is already been available, and we had asked for it. Now this is not something that I asked. So we are giving it something, saying that it tries to get the way that what it tries to give. Now, can you see here, like when you are trying to do the GitHub website directly, we have to go to the repository directly, and then we can go ahead and create or edit the files which are already been there, and then you can have the purpose changes, like how you would be giving on with the GitHub Copilot, uh, like what you would be doing inside the GitHub, right? So that's the same way that what you would be doing inside the Git as well, inside the Git website as well, right? So it had given us the steps based on the format that what it had tried to do on. Now, this particular part is not being part of the knowledge base. Like it tried to check with the knowledge that what it can try to achieve on, but it does not have that. So it had went to the second step. Whatever it tried to have inside the knowledge base, it would be giving you up in the response. And can you see here, like Stack Overflow is the response that what it had tried to have as a reference on. So now it had referred to the chat of Stack Overflow, and it tried to replicate the same of whatever it has answer for, and it tried to add it as a reference here, and it answered. It all happened because we have enabled the generative AI capability being added to this particular part. Now, when you disable this particular part, what would happen is like it would be, yeah, it would get generated automatically because we are using in the GPT-4 model, and you have to save it to something like you don't use the model at all is something that you would be choosing. And when you choose that, then that would be kind of like having it would be from your administrator where you can achieve on the thing. So when you had tried to do all those things, what would be the next step that what it tries to add on is like it would be having in the way like you can go ahead and disable it, and from there it would be just giving on with the result which are already been available alone. So that's where the agentic AI, or you can go ahead and create the multi-agent being added for your Copilot Studio. Now, there is something that which we saw inside the Copilot Studio right now, right? The settings part. We missed to achieve that particular settings part. It's something like when you have the generative AI capabilities, then you can, this is the orchestration part wherein you can assume whether that particular agentic AI can be having the generative AI features being added for yourself or not. So you would be deciding it here. If not, you would be connecting it to the agent. So when you want to connect it to multi-agent, then you would be deciding it here. So these are the ways where you can have the generative AI capabilities being added. When you have the agent details like your agent's name and icon being added, you would be creating it here. When you want security to be added, you would be having it something like the authentication, and then you would be having the channel security and other things like MFA and other things has to be added, right? So you would be deciding on which you can go ahead and have it. So connection settings is something like how do you want your particular agent to have the settings being added for yourself. Authorizing canvas is something, authoring canvas is something like when you wanted to achieve on different kind of the notes, and then performance quality and other things being done. Like when you wanted to do scratch from the scratch, you would be using the authoring canvas. If not, you can set it to off. Entities are something like your variables that what you see in your regular programming. So you would be having the details which are being added, and you would be able to have the details which are needed for yourself, and then you would be adding in the skill. Like uh, skill is something that when you given the URL, you would be creating a skill for yourself. Like how do you want your particular bot to proceed on is something that you would be deciding and you would be giving on over here. And then voice, addition of voice to your copilot, wherein DTMF is something that which should be regularly followed, like the dual tone multi-frequency input. Like how does it happen when you got to use the dialog flow CX, or how do you use a agentic AI, or uh, like how do you regularly develop a model or something like that, right? The regular way that what you would be using instead of adding all those things. It's just like you just want to click on with it. And you may see like, why am I not able to proceed on? That's because I'm again using in the environment which is of a default one, which does not have much added features which are being available. So I had added over there. That's why I'm not able to use much of the features which are already been available. And then when you want different kind of the languages which are needed for yourself, then you would be clicking on with the language, and you can add in the language which are needed for you, and from there you would be able to have the um, details which are needed. And the last part is like language understanding on how does it want to act on, like NLU or CLU is something that you would be deciding, and you would be clicking on. You can go ahead and see what's the difference between each of these things, and then based on the requirement you can consume on the same. Uh, and then when you want a component collection, like multi agent case, right? You would be creating in the solution which would be available for all the agents which are being available for that particular region. For that, you would be creating in a collection, and from that collection, it would be referring and it would be going and using that. So this is the overall thing that what we have for the Copilot Studio. So you don't have to create much inside the Copilot Studio, and when we wanted to publish it, you can go ahead and publish it. And when you want your publishing agent to be something like a different one, then you would be deciding on where you wanted to publish on. I know it does not allow me to publish because it's a free trial version, and um, it's under the default environment, so it does not allow me to publish over there. So we would not be having the way to publish over there. So rest all is covered. Like how do you create a agent, or there are templates which are being available. Like if you want to create a flight ticket, then you will be going and clicking on the flight ticket, and you will be consuming this. All right. This is something that what I wanted to cover as part of the Copilot Studio. Now, let's get back to the comparison part of how does it work. So when you have the features which are being available, you would be having the Copilot Studio being created, and with that, you would be having the various ways of having in the prompt flow being built in, and then you can have the developer control being limited, and use case fits in the business users which are being available. And whereas when you go for AI Foundry, it's something like a total different one, wherein you can go ahead and develop from the scratch by yourself. Like you would be building in the custom flow for yourself, and then you can have the developer control, full developer control over there. And it's for like when you wanted to do some kind of like RAG or some MCPs or some kind of like different tools, or um, when you wanted to build some tiny ML or something of that sort, you would be going and using the AI Foundry over there. So this is something that which has been already available. Like you can go ahead and create it via AI Foundry, or either you can go ahead and choose the Visual Studio Code along with the uh, GitHub along with the GitHub Copilot access, and you would be able to integrate everything together, but you would not be able to have the connection of Copilot Studio being added along with the AI Foundry, but AI Foundry can have the Copilot Studio being added with it. So, um, this is all about like which one to use on which use case. If it's kind of like business process automation, I would recommend you to go ahead and use the Copilot Studio. If it's a custom or multi-agent orchestration, then go ahead and start use the AI Foundry. If you just want to add the intelligence alone, then go ahead and use the AI Builder, which has been available in either of it, like uh, Copilot Studio or any of the Power Platform tools which are being available, or you can also have the combination of each of those things so that you can have the details which are being added for yourself. So that's all from me for today. If you have any questions, post the session as well. I would be happy to take that up and answer your queries via LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn code. Feel free to get in touch with me. I'm
Thanks a
now
lot,
open up for any
Bhargavi.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a
Okay.
lot, Bhargavi. If there are any questions from anyone, you can ask here or you can connect with Bhargavi later as well. We'll open the session for Q&A now. No questions? Okay, then in that case, I will say, Bhargavi, thanks a lot for this wonderful session. It was really good to see the demo of Copilot Studio, understand the difference between when to use Copilot Studio, AI Builder, and Foundry. I will say thank you everyone for joining today's session and taking your time over this weekend. And thank you, Bhargavi, as well.
Thank you, Vipul, for hosting, and it was happy to be part of this. Thanks a lot for everyone for joining today.
Thank you, everyone.